11 of the 15-man squad are still playing in New Zealand's centenary tournament. Joe Angel, the player to miss a Caribbean trip. Back on home turf, Justin Langer learnt of his recall at Adelaide Airport.
It's been a pretty lean season for me so far, so it's great to see the selectors have retained some faith in me.
Langer and 20-year-old Tasmanian Ricky Ponting joined the 6 batsmen who played in the last Ashes test against England. Opener Michael Slater broke a thumb in that match but returns after being rested from the New Zealand tour. Strike bowler Craig McDermott also back from injury.
My back was sore in Perth and everything's 100%. I feel great. You know, the 2 weeks off has done me the world of good, and with a week to go, hopefully I'll only feel better.
While batting, McDermott felt the wrath of the Windies pace bowlers in 1991. Ian Chappell believes a similar Caribbean welcome awaits Shane Warne.
I mean, the worst thing that could possibly happen was, you know, a short pitch delivery whacks Shane Warne on the fingers. And that's the sort of thing that the West Indies will be targeting. And I think for all those reasons, I'd just make them favourites, but only slight.
Damien Fleming will be taking no chances.
Well, I'll be ringing County actually as soon as I get off here and just seeing what they got in chest guards and elbow guards and everything like that.
The tour billed as cricket's unofficial World Championship begins in Barbados on the 1st of March. Andrew McKinlay, National 9 News. The Australians arrived home this morning, fresh from victory in New Zealand. The skipper keen to set sail for another group of islands.
As it's good for the conference, but we'll have to start again when we get to the Caribbean.
The West Indies won the last series in the Caribbean 2-1. That was also billed as cricket's unofficial World Championship and at one stage threatened to become a heavyweight stoush.
And Desmond Haynes is just about to have a word with Ian Healy.
Haynes and Healy have since made up, but the wicketkeeper vows this time Australia will adopt the same tough attitude.
And that's what a World Championship is as far as I'm concerned.
At the SCG, teammates Michael Slater and Shane Warne flew the flag for their sponsor. Warne keen to make a sales pitch at Allan Border, but coy about being fined for wearing Nike wristbands during New Zealand's centenary tournament.
And Tubby gave you a slap on the wrist?
Yeah, that'll do. Slap on the wrist was about what he gave me, yeah.
Warne realises he'll cop more than a slap on the wrist from the Windies bowlers, but the spinner's confident he can survive the pace barrage.
I went after Craig McDermott on the last series and he took 25 wickets, I think, for the series. So hopefully if they go after me, then hopefully I can take a few wickets as well.
And while Warne stars in the commercials, mention the Windies and Slater quotes his sponsor's slogan.
I just want to get over there and just do it.
Andrew McKinlay, National 9 News.
I got a different one on the second leg.
Yeah, it might be
16.
The seating may be unsure, but the goal is clear. Beat the Windies at home and once again be the best in the world.
If we get a chance, let's take it.
Of the 15 tourists, only the skipper and 5 others have previously competed against the Windies on their home soil. But it's the young guns who could provide the fireworks. Batsmen Justin Langer, Ricky Ponting, Greg Blewett and Michael Slater are all aggressive and nothing is about to change.
They're obviously the best cricket team in the world, but hopefully they'll be the second best when we're finished with them.
As for the broken thumb that kept Slater out of the one-dayers in New Zealand...
There it is. Still a bit of bruising around the nail and what have you, but it's feeling 100%.
Right. That hand and Shane Warne's spinning fingers will be obvious targets for the Windies pacemen, but no one is losing any sleep.
Whether I'd broken my thumb or not, they're going to be aiming at the chest and fingers anyway. I mean, that's the way they bowl.
Meantime, the debate continues over television coverage of the tour, with Communications Minister Michael Lee again calling for a compromise.
But the responsibility today rests with Channel 9 and the pay TV operator, and that's why today I'm appealing on them to sit down and start serious negotiations about simultaneous live coverage.
Australia says it will broadcast the cricket live for people who pay for it. A short time ago, Nine boss David Leckie said while his network is committed to a live broadcast, he maintains Mr. Lee is the only person who can break the deadlock. Clinton Fletcher, National 9 News.
Bridgetown's Kensington Oval was packed to the rafters for the opening bout between cricket's champions and the top contender. The Windies scored 26 off the first 4 overs, Williams and Simmons punching a wayward rifle through the boundary rope.
Oh, good shot.
Rifle hit back, finding the edge of Williams' bat, but Simmons' barrage forced Taylor to bring on Warne, a change of pace putting the opener in a spin. Steve Waugh ran out Richardson.
We're down, he's gone!
Lara scored 55 before playing into Taylor's hands.
Great catch, Mark.
But Hooper was in tune, backing his often erratic batting against both Warne and May.
Same horse, different jockey.
Healy's dive sank fellow keeper Junior Murray. Hooper's 84 from as many balls, helping the Windies to 257. Australia's chase appeared poised to take off before Adams snared Slater in full flight. Taylor held out for 41, and when the War Twins were sent back to the pavilion, Australia still required 80 runs off 10 overs. Like a red rag to a bull, Boone and Blewett took up the challenge. Blewett's cameo 33, pure calypso cricket.
Well, cop that.
Boone remained undefeated on 85, but Williams' throw beat Healy home. The Tasmanian could see the lighter side of the equation, but the odds weighed too heavily against Australia. Crowd invasion confirming defeat, but the captain convinced Australia can win in Trinidad.
If we just brush up on a few things, but today we can win both games.
Andrew McKinlay, National 9 News.
While some people decided the beach was the place to be, more than 20,000 crammed into the Trinidad ground. The Aussies got away to a shaky start, Taylor out for 16, while Mark Ward didn't bother the scorers. Slater wasn't going to be put off though, his trademark cut shot producing runs.
Great shot, Michael Slater.
Steve Waugh was in a damaging mood as he became the second Australian to score a 50. Healy made it 3 in the dying stages, his normal attacking style suiting the position.
That's a big 6. It really is a big one.
The Windies' chase began disastrously. Williams trapped in front, but that brought Lara to the crease. Together with Simmons, they smashed Warne out of the ground.
Can do that.
But our bowlers hit back, the medium pace of Blewett ending Lara's stay.
He's out.
The Windies lost 4 for 16, and although Atherton attempted to stop the rot, he joined the top order back in the pavilion.
It's in the air, catch for David Boone. Steepler, taken.
McDermott was carrying a shoulder injury, but it didn't prevent him from levelling the series. In the space of 5 balls, the paceman claimed the final 3 wickets. Andrew Vansley, National 9 News.
By the 10th over, the Aussies were in a groove. Both openers had been dismissed for 6, and there were only 26 runs on the board.
Beaten and gone.
But then came the Lara show. With a repertoire that consists of every shot in the book, he slaughtered the pace bowlers and murdered the spinners.
Well, he's gone down there.
Even the locals looked shell-shocked as the prince of batsmen blazed away.
Oh, pick the bones out of that.
With spin cam in their corner, the Windies are getting the closest look yet at Warne's action, but all the bowlers took a beating. Lara raced past his 50 and then bolted towards his century. It came off just 103 balls. He hit 15 fours and 3 sixes before his day was through. During the assault, the Aussies lost Fleming with that shoulder injury, while Lara was happy to inflict his own pain. At the end of it all, his 139 came off 125 balls. It was a match-winning innings.
He's got a chance, he's out.
The Aussies were never in the chase. Wickets fell regularly, with only Ponting and Steve Waugh saving face.
Got hold of it beautifully.
The tourists failed to bat out their 50 overs, with the last 5 wickets falling for just 22 runs.
That's it. It's all over.
The Windies now lead the best of 5 series 2-1. Clinton Fletcher, National 9 News.
Inspiring island scenery was the backdrop to an uninspiring batting effort by the Aussies. First Taylor. 1 for 6 in the third. Next to go, Mark Waugh on 26. Boone made 33, had a life, and then was rolled by Atherton's arm ball. Slater had been typically aggressive before Atherton's delivery, found the bat, then the foot, and finally the stumps. Blewett's wonderful summer is fast fading. This time the youngsters tally 4 runs. Had the ball carried. Steve Waugh wasn't sure, but Atherton was certain. 6 for 171. Rifle had his head before wicket and got a run out of it. 2 more wickets, then some rain before the Windies came out to play. While the runs flowed, Warne bowled well enough to indicate he will be a problem for the West Indies bats in the Test series.
And the umpire is asked for...
McGrath found an extra metre to nail Adams.
All over the place.
But Simmons and Hooper flayed their bats in a run fest. Today, Warne got 2 for 33, turned the ball a mile and got Simmons a beauty.
Outside the off stump, turning away.
Bowling to a test field, Warne is going to test the West Indies' patience. But for the moment, the home side are the grinners, and don't the locals love it?
Way to finish off the match.
Taylor and Slater gave warning of what Australia were after in the final one-dayer.
There's a glorious offering from Slater.
They put on 78 in quick time before Slater was on his way.
Brilliant catch.
Mark Waugh struck a shattering blow, a straight six putting more than the commentators at risk.
Right into the box next to us. I hope they're safe in there.
When Taylor went, it was 2 for 166 in the 32nd over. Ponting quickly followed for a duck, and then Mark Waugh fell short of the crease. With wickets running out, the Aussies were pushing hard. It worked against Langer.
And he hit the stumps.
Healy and Rifle added valuable runs in the dying stages, but it only whet the appetite of the locals. Campbell went for 9, but from then it was the Phil Simmons show. Julian wasn't given any time to warm up in his first match as he struggled to find the right line. At one stage, the Windies were 30 runs ahead, but the tourists showed fight when Slater produced 2 superb catches.
It's a glorious catch.
But a half-century from Adams was what the Windies were after as they took the match by 5 wickets. Andrew Bensley, National 9 News.
Still recovering from a shoulder injury, our number 1 strike bowler went over on his ankle. At first it was feared he had broken it. Nevertheless, his tour future is on shaky ground.
It's still a very serious ankle injury because it's been very, very badly knocked about. But the full extent we won't really be able to access properly until tomorrow morning.
Should McDermott not be available, Glenn McGrath may get his chance after taking 5 wickets in the 3-day game against Guyana. The Aussies are in control, leading by 99 runs for the loss of 4 wickets.
It is easy to get distracted from the main game in the West Indies. The beaches are so beautiful, the locals so friendly. But we're constantly reminded that Test cricket here is the toughest in the world. Just listen to what the West Indies coach says about our batting dynamos Michael Slater and Greg Blewett on their first Caribbean tour.
I would like to see, some of them against some good short pitch bowling.
But Bluey says a fiery welcome doesn't faze him.
I can't wait till the test starts.
As for Slats, he's more concerned about dumpers in the surf than bumpers on the field.
That's what I expected. I came over here knowing I was going to face a lot of short pitch deliveries.
There'll be many sideshows in this series, one of them the battle between myself and Brian Lara. He's recovering from a slight hip injury, but test matches are all about challenges, and bowling against him is always a challenge. Thousands of Aussie tourists have come to the Caribbean to see the series. The doyen of Barbados cricket, 94-year-old King Dale, who has ridden to every test match here since 1906, is backing us.
And I want Australia to beat them very badly if it's possible.
Well, in the last 3 or 4 test series I've played in, the first day always counts for a lot and can set the tone for the whole series. So hopefully come day 1, if we're batting, Slats and Tubby can get after him, and if we're bowling, we can get some early wickets and set the tone. Here in Barbados, Shane Warne, National 9 News.
The Aussies came out firing. Julian and Rifle onto a perfect length straight away, but Richardson had only himself to blame.
He's gone. Richardson caught behind.
The Windies 3 for 6. Once again, the focus was on Lara, and the best left-hander in world cricket lived up to top billing.
Well, he's found the gap.
But when Warne appeared, it was Hooper who made a statement. By lunch, both batsmen had cracked 10 fours, the 100 partnership full of classics.
Oh, glorious.
Just when such aggression threatened to leave the Aussies in tatters, Julian held it all together.
He's got him.
While Lara couldn't believe Steve Waugh held this catch.
It hits the ground, actually, and then he scoops it up. That ball definitely hit the ground.
But there was no doubting the tactics against Warnie.
Well, Bob, you've called it right, and that is going to be a catch to you, Bobby.
The Aussies had the last laugh, though. The
That's the end
final
of
4
the
wickets falling for 11.
The West Indies are out for 185.
In Australia's dig, Mark Taylor was his reliable self as he pushed towards 50. But Slater could regard himself very unlucky not to be with his skipper for day 2.
Magnificent catch! Magnificent catch!
Then late in the day, Boone was late on a pull shot to lose his wicket.
He's miscued that. No,
it's come out all right for me today. I'm not going to take anything for granted in the second innings. I'm just going to try and bowl good line and length like I did today, and hopefully that might happen again.
Michael Roberts, National 9 News. A warm welcome greeted the Aussies from parts of the ground, but it was different out in the middle for Mark Waugh. He was lucky to survive the perfect setup.
He's got that one away, there's a chance, and he's been put down.
Taylor, though, had no problems reaching his 30th Test half-century until Benjamin went around the wicket.
That's out.
Steve Waugh received a hostile reception after a controversial catch yesterday. The best reply was finding the fence.
Glorious shot from Steve Waugh.
Ambrose was introduced with immediate results. Mark Waugh gone for 40, Blewett 14. That wasn't the only firing line that had to be handled. Benjamin having Steve Waugh's measure after a gritty 65.
It's brilliantly caught by Junior Murray.
There was no holding back Lara's emotions or flying the Aussie flag. That's exactly what Healy did, some crunching sixes for his 50.
His canvas is over the top. That is 6.
In the air, over the head of the fielder, gone. Magnificent stroke.
Healy finished unbeaten on 74. Australia all out for 346.
There you are. It's as simple as that, isn't it?
It was a nervous last hour for the Windies, but they'll start day 3 with a clean sheet. Michael Roberts, National 9 News. Some of the locals must have had a premonition with plenty of seats around. Williams and Campbell fell cheaply, but it was the scalp of Lara that excited the Australians.
And Lara's edged McGrath, caught behind.
While the group took extreme measures to keep their cool, Hooper again was in sizzling form against Warnie.
Well, it's a good hit from Hooper. To make clear the fence it has.
Richardson was in a similar mood, but when he lost his partner, it was 4 for 57. The captain followed in the last over before lunch.
Oh, he's bowled him. He's bowled him.
Adams and Murray put on a valuable 44-run partnership until Steve Waugh's run and lunge. There was no juggling this time.
Waugh running the wrong way. Great catch. Stephen Waugh, great catch.
It was nearly time to celebrate. The last 4 wickets falling for 19. McGrath picking up 3 of them.
That's the end of it.
Needing 39 to win, the Aussies felt no pressure. Slater and Taylor needing little time.
With some poor shot play.
The winning run coming without a blow from the bat.
From a no ball, rather anticlimactic finish. Swarms coming up on the ground. Australian flags all over the place.
The historic victory was widely toasted by the estimated 700 Aussie fans at Kensington Oval.
That's incredible. You come halfway around the world, you dream about a test like this, and I was here.
Inside the rooms, the visitors savoured the triumph, made all the sweeter because they were the underdogs.
These blokes have been 1-0 down before, they know what it's like, they've come back before, so we've got to make sure we play as well, if not better than what we played today in this game.
Michael Roberts, National 9 News.
The Aussies were today basking in the glory of their historic victory.
Most enjoyable victory I've had playing for Australia.
While the players were recovering from the celebrations, their coach Bob Simpson was recovering from the thrombosis in his left leg. He's only just come out of intensive care. The blood clot had been potentially very serious.
If that clot had been in different parts of the body, it would have moved more quickly, then, it can be quite dangerous.
A typically determined Simpson will not go home. He'll rejoin the team in Antigua next week.
I've enjoyed the tour. I've had a good time. I'm still doing the exercise with all the boys each morning. I'm still more flexible than most of the side.
Australia's first ever 3-day victory in the Caribbean has given the players a much needed 2-day break.
Whee!
While playing golf with daredevil Shane Warne, Brian Lara said the West Indians batted horribly. He admitted they were complacent after Craig McDermott went home.
Took them a bit too lightly in the first test match. And the guys are looking forward for the remaining of the series. It's nice to lose the first one, as I said, not the fourth one.
The Aussies will refocus on cricket on Thursday when they fly to Antigua to prepare for the second test, which starts this weekend. In Bridgetown, Barbados, Nick McCallum for Nightline.
As a team, we've been flying high the past week. So Brennan Julian and Steve Waugh joined me for a helicopter tour of Antigua, an island which they claim has a different beach for every day of the year. This is Tugger Waugh's second tour of the West Indies, He says there's a big difference between their team in 1991 and their team now.
They've lost their aura. I think they used to intimidate sides just by their actual presence on the field, and I think that's a little bit different these days.
Antigua's training facilities brought us back down to earth. They're very primitive, and we recruited some Aussie tourists to help us with our fielding. A team triathlon helped us start focusing on the job ahead, even though Carl Ruckman and I really struggled in the canoe.
We've just got to make sure that we keep playing well. We've played well, very well last weekend. Probably one of the best test matches I've seen us play. If we can keep doing that and they can beat us, well, then they deserve to be the best side in the world.
The West Indians have dropped young opener Sherwin Campbell. Richie Richardson will open and is determined his team's performance will be world class.
We're going to have to show our true character and come back from this test match. I have no doubt that we can do it. We've done it before.
Well, this is a vital test match for Australia. We know the West Indies are going to come out fighting. Our preparation is right and we're ready for the challenge. In Antigua, Shane Warne, National 9 News.
After winning the toss, the West Indians came out firing. Taylor the first to feel the heat, then Slater was sent sprawling. The opening pair survived, though, and mounted a brisk stand. Slater particularly severe on Hooper.
Well, he's gone after him right away.
But last ball before lunch, a fatal misjudgment.
Top edge, in the air, Walsh under it, and caught.
Soon after the break, Slater followed, as Walsh triggered the collapse.
Gone!
Mark Waugh was next to go in the same over.
Gone!
Boone was lucky to survive as the Windies applied the pressure. Steve Waugh was even luckier.
In the air, Jay's out caught, he dropped it.
Boone stayed around long enough to register his 7,000th test run before becoming Walsh's next victim.
Beautiful.
First ball next over, Steve Waugh was gone.
He's got in. Inside edge, the man close to the batsman.
Healy's heroics in the first test ensured he got a warm welcome, but this time he didn't last long.
Walsh is under it.
Julian and Rifle each made an invaluable 22 before Walsh wrapped up the tail. McGrath his 6th scalp.
And he's gone, that's the end of the inning.
In reply, the Windies reached 14 without loss. Charles Slade, National 9 News.
Coach Bob Simpson rejoined the Australians, having recovered from a thrombosis in his leg. Early on, the West Indians struggled. It took 53 minutes for Richie Richardson to get off the mark.
I think he needs to knuckle down. That's a lovely shot, you see.
Williams fell cheaply to Warne.
Feet down, out.
And that brought Lara to the crease, to a hero's welcome. This, his first test appearance in Antigua since he made a world record 375 here last year, and he looked right at home. Richardson too found touch as they reached a 50 partnership in just 45 minutes. But just as the skipper appeared to have played himself back into form, he fell to Julian. Lara reached his 50 in only 48 balls.
His 50, very sweet.
Just when Lara looked set for a century, Boone pulled off a miraculous catch.
Thrusting himself wide to his left, got his hand to it.
With Hooper also falling to Steve Waugh, the Aussies were back in the game. After the break, Arthurton hit 2 huge sixes.
And he's hit that one.
But then the West Indians lost their last 5 wickets for just 20 runs, all out for 260.
Can't restrain himself any longer.
Australia then had to survive 38 minutes of fire. It was anything but comfortable. But Taylor and Slater are still there fighting. Ken Sutcliffe for Nightline. The West Indies' intimidation hadn't curbed Slater's aggression. First ball on the 3rd day. Mark Taylor had the same game plan, but poor execution cost him. Rain stopped play, but the spectators became even more playful.
That is Mayfield.
It was a long rain dance.
They can do about it at the moment. Unfortunately,
back in the middle, Slater faced Walsh. Richardson takes a blinder.
Beautifully caught, magnificently taken.
2 for 43 and not past the West Indies' first innings. Mark Waugh needed to deliver. A 6, but there's always a price to pay. The ball slips out of Walsh's hand.
well, Mark Waugh has lost that completely. They've appealed
Walsh
for
said
LBW.
sorry, War wasn't convinced. Following another rain interruption, War and particularly Boone came into their own. As so often in the past, Boone became the stump on which Australia relied on. His half-century was full of cheek and pure frustration for the West Indies.
Schoolyard cricket.
The partnership established, the pair cut and drove the West Indies attack with confidence. Boone was motoring so well, he's probably wishing tomorrow isn't a rest day.
Caribbean fans know the battle for Test cricket's throne is still too close to call, but Australia's batsmen were never bogged down. Mark Waugh and Boone producing the tourists' first century stand of the series. The Tasmanian made 67 before umpire Bucknor took an eternity to seal his fate. Benjamin bringing Waugh's knock to a sudden end on 61.
Beautiful delivery. Perfect Yorker.
Benjamin almost brought Blewett undone with a similar ball. A change in pace allowing the Windies to snare his wicket just on lunch. After the break, Steve Waugh feasted on Hooper's spin.
Absolute gift for 6.
Walsh took the new ball, wrapping Waugh on the knuckles, but failing to find Junior Murray's gloves before catching Healy's bat.
Out!
Waugh scored an unconquered half-century, but Julian failed to make it home.
He's gone!
With the tourist's tail exposed, a tea-time downpour ended play, Australia leading by 229 runs with the day to go.
If we can get 30 or 40 more runs tomorrow and set them a target of 270, I think it'd be pretty hard to get. I fancy our chances of bowling the Windies out.
A result now hinges on the weather and the spin of Shane Warne. Andrew McKinlay, National 9 News.
As the Aussies arrived at the ground, they knew the elements had conspired against them. They'd be facing an uphill battle.
Wet day here, wet day.
After constant overnight rain, the outfield was sodden. Groundsmen worked with sponges, then a helicopter was flown in to dry the bowlers' run-ups. In all, almost 3 hours' play was lost. When the Australian innings finally resumed, Walsh came off a short run because of the conditions. Steve Waugh lived dangerously.
Edged. Lucky.
As did Paul Rifle.
Well, past the keeper.
Mark Taylor declared the Australian innings closed at 7 for 300. With the West Indies needing 257 to win at more than 7 runs and over, Williams started aggressively.
Pulled that one again.
But Richie Richardson added to the speculation about his captaincy when Rifle got through his defences. Warne did trouble Lara, but Lara played some delightful shots.
Lovely shot.
Before falling to Julian.
Bowled him.
With no chance of a result, the game finished early. The West Indies 2 for 80.
We're very confident at this stage. 2 test matches left, we've only got to win one of them.
The Australians now play a West Indies board 11 at nearby St Kitts before moving on to Trinidad for the vital 3rd test. Nick McCallum, National 9 News, St John's, Antigua. Under doctor's instructions, Bob Simpson paces the hospital corridors. He'd already spent a week here earlier this month because of the thrombosis in his leg. To be forced to return is pure frustration.
Obviously you've got a thrombosis and it's something that's got to be treated very, very seriously. But it makes it harder when you feel so well yourself.
Your favourite nurse?
Yeah.
Simpson concedes he tried to return to work too quickly.
I could have been doing a bit too much and not taking enough care.
But he insists he's not even considering retiring.
But I'm fit, I'm in good shape, I'm enjoying cricket, mentally I'm still alert.
As the Aussies arrived in Trinidad, the home of calypso music, for the 3rd test, their thoughts were with their coach.
I'm sure all of his good wishes go with us, as do ours with him.
Doctors here will review Bob Simpson's condition on the day before the test match. They'll then determine when he'll rejoin the Australian team. Nick McCallum, National 9 News, Bridgetown, Barbados.
In Antigua, David Boone passed Sir Donald Bradman's test run aggregate with little fanfare. Here in Trinidad, Booney plays his 100th test, and if it was up to him, once again, there'd be no fuss. Alan Border is the only other Aussie to play a century of tests.
It's something that everybody dreams of when they're younger, and when they first start playing test cricket, it's something you never think would happen. So for me tomorrow, it'll be a very proud moment.
Port of Spain is famous for three things: steel bands, a huge park called the Savannah, and Brian Lara, dubbed the Prince of Trinidad. Brian admits he's feeling the pressure to perform in front of his hometown.
It's like a lifelong dream to play cricket at international level and to succeed at that level. And I suppose the pressure that comes with it, I have to try to deal with it as much as possible. Sometimes it's very difficult.
While the pitch here looks a little green, Trinidad has the reputation as a spinning wicket, and that suits me just fine. The West Indians may play their leggy Danraj, but I found a new prospect for them. 13-year-old Sinclair Sazim has got my action down pat.
Fantastic, Warnie!
Very good, my man. Very good. Well, we're 1-0 up with 2 to play. We're very determined here to clinch a series, and what a way for David Boone to celebrate his 100th test. In Trinidad, Shane Warne, National 9 News.
The West Indian fans called their players to arms today, and they responded. With the wicket very green, Richie Richardson won the toss and sent the Aussies in. Slater went for a duck.
He's gone.
Taylor fell to a rejuvenated Curtly Ambrose.
He's gone.
The fire in the pitch brought a wry smile to the face of David Boone, playing his 100th test. But no smiles in the Aussie camp when Mark Waugh was snapped up by Junior Murray. After Ambrose bounced Steve Waugh, the exchange between the two became so heated, the fast bowler confronted the batsman at the crease. Richie Richardson ran from third slip to pull the fired-up Ambrose away. The incident attracted the attention of match referee Majid Khan, who saw both players at the end of the day's play. But it was Boone who became Ambrose's next victim.
He's gone.
Ironically, when Waugh misjudged a drive, it was Ambrose who dropped the chance.
Dropped it.
Healy fell to a team effort.
He's dropped it. He's caught it.
Steve Waugh brought up a courageous 50 in typically defiant style. Nick McCallum, National 9 News, Port of Spain, Trinidad. Outside the ground, it may be the battle of the bands, but inside, the battle between Steve Waugh and Curtly Ambrose continued today. This caught behind appeal rejected, much to the disgust of the big fast bowler. But Ambrose vented his fury by cleaning up the tail, claiming Vaughan, then McGrath. In the West Indian innings, Williams fell for a duck. Brian Lara received a huge hometown welcome, but was lucky to survive this LBW appeal before he'd scored.
Confident appeal.
Richardson was adjudged caught behind off McGrath. Lara looked set for a big innings. But then Taylor snared a sizzler off McGrath.
That's beautifully held.
Hooper took to Steve Waugh, then fell into a well-laid trap.
And here's a catch taken.
The stubborn Adams fell to rifle. Slater eventually caught Winston Benjamin on the third attempt.
Caught at the third attempt.
With some luck, Walsh took the West Indian lead to 8th before becoming McGrath's 6th victim.
And that's it. End of the innings.
Taylor and Slater faced a hostile barrage for half an hour. At stumps, the Australians were 20 for no loss. They feel fiery bowling, great fielding and a never-say-die attitude brought them right back into this match. Nick McCallum, National 9 News, Port of Spain, Trinidad.
It was a great fight back yesterday, but the Aussies were in early trouble on day 3.
Slater has gone.
The Windies bowlers were full of steam, and while Taylor tried to counter, Benjamin's leg cutter took exactly the right course.
That's well bowled.
At 2 for 52, the signals weren't good, and when Boone was dismissed for 9, out went the SOS, but no one answered.
Well, a big shout. He's given him.
In a dramatic collapse, Australia lost 5 wickets for just 2 runs. Curtly Ambrose was the destroyer, finishing with 4 for 20 in a lethal 10-over display. The Aussies were all out shortly after lunch, and the Windies needed a paltry 98 runs to level the series.
All out for 105.
While the tourists struggled to score, not so for the locals. Williams and Richardson put on 81 before their stand was broken. The end then came quickly. With more than 2 days of play remaining, Lara hit the winning runs.
Mark Taylor can scarcely believe it's happened. He must be in the deepest shock.
about second ball of the second over, one bounces off the length, gets the gloves and goes to the slips. That was a real turning point. It got them going, and from then on we struggled.
The fourth and final test begins in Jamaica this weekend. Clinton Fletcher, National 9 News.
The Aussies were the walking wounded today. Shane Warne has a badly bruised thumb, courtesy of a sharply rising delivery yesterday. Warne says it is very painful. He needed help to open a chip packet, and it did affect his bowling yesterday. Steve Waugh has a bruised arm and Glenn McGrath a bruised foot, both also hit while batting. All will need constant treatment over the next 4 days, but should be fit for Jamaica.
On that wicket yesterday, you had to expect something, and we probably got out of it pretty well, considering past tours.
But it was still the wicket that dominated discussion here today. 2 days before the match, it was so grassy you couldn't tell where it was.
To me, I feel it was all right, because I get what I want, the bounce. I would do all over again, same way. You understand?
It wasn't really suitable for Test match cricket. If you put that sort of wicket out, you're not going to get 5 days of cricket.
Although they had a bad day yesterday, the Australians are tonight insisting they can take confidence from the fact that overall in this series, they've had more good days than the West Indians. Nick McCallum, National 9 News, Port of Spain, Trinidad. The Aussies today continued their regrouping process with a round of golf. Greg Blewett's form with the club unfortunately matching his current form with the bat. After making 2 centuries in his first 2 tests against England, Blewett has totalled just 63 in 5 innings against the West Indies.
Yeah, well, it's turned around fairly quickly.
At a team meeting before training today, all the batsmen analysed the team's second innings collapse in the 3rd test. Blewett admits he must improve his concentration.
I feel very confident, maybe a little bit too confident. Everyone's sort of got a lift for Jamaica. I mean, everyone's getting starts and not going on, so I'm not the only one.
As for injuries, Glenn McGrath couldn't train, but his bruised foot is improving. Shane Warne also couldn't bowl, but is most concerned about batting. He knows the West Indian fast bowlers will now target his bruised thumb.
If it comes out, I'll have to come up with some sort of idea that I just don't stand there and get hit. I'll have to run down and charge him and try and whack him.
Nick McCallum, National 9 News, Port of Spain, Trinidad.
For me, it was the moment of truth. The first time I'd bowled since bruising my thumb. To be honest, it still hurts a lot, but settles down after I've been bowling for a while.
After each bowling session, got to put the thumb into the ice just to reduce the swelling. Yeah, it's still a bit tender on the bone, but I don't think anything's going to keep me out of this Test match. It's the most vital one for the year, so nothing's going to stop me.
I've been having regular conferences with our skipper, Tubby Taylor, and he's pleased with my progress. Glenn McGrath says his bruised foot is giving him no trouble at all. He's even starting to joke about it now.
To be honest, there wasn't much wrong with it. I just wanted a couple of days off, and it worked pretty well, so I'm feeling pretty good.
The pitch at Trinidad was a shocker, very green and underprepared. Here it's totally opposite, not a blade of grass on it.
Is this for Torval and Dean or what?
Who? Torval and Dean.
It's the work of eccentric Jamaican Charlie Joseph.
Pull it up, man. Pull it up, man.
Head groundsman here for 37 years. He says it'll be a batsman's paradise, but will break up a little bit towards the end of the match.
Well, I should say that. The best pitch in the world right now.
On this pitch, it'll be up to our batsmen to perform.
I was to bat first, make a few runs, and then see one of our leg spinners shine the last day's play.
The West Indians had a scare with their keeper, Junior Murray, coming down with a virus, but he'll be fit to play. They know we'll come out with all guns blazing.
We have forgotten about the last match now, and we're gonna focus totally on the next few days.
Sabina Park is undergoing a huge facelift for this match. Work is going on here around the clock to make it an appropriate venue for what should be a classic game of cricket. Shane Warne, National 9 News, Kingston, Jamaica.
Many were forced to watch from outside as Mark Taylor lost the toss for the 7th time in a row. The West Indies electing to bat, but with the second ball of the match...
And he's gone!
In the first hour, the West Indies were scoring a run a minute. Lara's 50 came off just 59 balls. Just as Lara promised a huge score, he fell. Bat pad to a diving Healy. Richardson took over 3 hours to reach his first 50 of the series.
Hooper's gone over the top.
And then sent Mark Waugh over the fence.
It's gone a long way.
Once again, Hooper got a good start, but fell on 23.
He has hit his straps.
Arthurton took to Warne before falling to McGrath.
He's gone.
Eventually, Richardson brought up his century of 205 balls. Wicketkeeper Courtney Brown replaced an ill Junior Murray, but didn't last long.
There's a big appeal.
As the tail offered little resistance, a clearly tired Richardson departed on 100. The West Indies all out for 265, right on stumps.
Nick McCallum, National 9 News, Kingston, Jamaica.
A combination of superb reflexes and a little luck saw Mark Taylor walk, Jimmy Adams taking a screamer.
Magnificent catch by Jimmy Adams.
Steely David Boone marched in. His tactics, take the stick to the quicks.
Shot by David Boone.
But on 17, he got a rough deal.
And I think he'd achieved just that.
Ambrose's delivery had come off Boone's helmet. He was not happy. 2 for 50. Slater wasn't about to go into a shell. Mark Waugh was peppered. Then he watched his younger partner exit, the catch a beauty.
Lara takes it beautifully.
That brought the twins together, and they answered the intimidation in the best possible way.
A lovely placement.
Steve had a life on 42.
Oh, he dropped it. He's put it down.
He made them pay for it very next ball. It had the fans dejected, more so when Steve took to Carl Hooper.
That's well hit. Tremendous blow.
Mark got to triple figures first in what had been a chanceless innings.
His 8th Test century for Mark Waugh.
35 minutes later, Steve followed.
He's completed it.
Desperate for a breakthrough, Richie Richardson broke new ground with a long spell of spin in tandem. Hooper finally did the trick.
Waugh is out.
That rough patch of track will give Warne plenty of heart. Blewett warmed up as though he had a truckload of runs behind him. And at the end of play, he was still there on 6, with a glorious opportunity in front of him.
At a sponsor's cocktail party tonight, the Aussies were feeling playful. His teammates describe Waugh's double century as the best knock they've ever seen.
Getting 200 against the Windies was like a dream come true.
Waugh's had a controversial tour. In the first test, a catch he took off Brian Lara appeared to touch the ground. West Indian fans labelled him a cheat. In the third test, he had a confrontation with Curtly Ambrose.
As we predicted, AB, it's got him fired up.
And only 2 nights ago, Waugh's Jamaican hotel room was broken into by a security guard as the Australian slept. But all that was overshadowed by his 9 hours at the crease here.
No need to run for that.
He was hit several times.
I don't think he's too happy.
With the Aussies 9 wickets down, he notched a 4-all run for his 200.
What a magnificent effort. One of the greatest moments in his career. We've got Australians running out from everywhere here. A standing ovation here.
I suppose you don't realise the magnitude of it till probably a couple of weeks later, but hopefully the most important thing is to win the game now.
Nick McCallum, National 9 News, Kingston, Jamaica.
The day began as any other when batting against the West Indies. Blewett stuck his chest out and went after Ambrose. Waugh was also in delightful touch.
Yeah, great shot through point.
Blewett's innings included 9 fours, this one of the best.
It's a wonderful shot.
His eyes lit up when part-time bowler Arthurton sent down the day's worst delivery.
Well taken, he's got him.
Next to go, Healy. Yesterday, Adams took a hot catch. Today, another, this time Julian.
Another curler.
As partners fell, Waugh marched on. Rifle hung around for a 73-run partnership before he left the gate open.
Partnership in the most spectacular fashion.
Warne went without scoring.
Caught.
9 for 522, almost 9 hours at the crease and a double century in sight. Waugh needed McGrath to hang around. He did.
What a magnificent effort.
3 minutes later, the majestic innings came to an end. But to the end, Ward didn't want to go.
Appeal, and he's given.
37 brisk runs were on the board for the home team when Rifle struck.
Caught and bowled.
Brian Lara faced just 6 balls before Rifle skidded one through.
He's gone.
Out for a duck. The Aussies were in heaven. More so Rifle 9 runs later.
Played on.
It was a good day's work, and with any luck, just a few more hours of toil to go.
It may have delighted the locals, but it was the Aussies' worst nightmare. They're so close to history, and it bucketed down in Kingston today. Visiting a nearby exclusive resort, the rain did not dampen the Australians' enthusiasm for golf. But they were all looking to the skies.
Yeah, a bit anxious. As I say, it's overcast at the moment. Hopefully you get the rain out of the road today and it'll be sunny tomorrow.
While it's easy for the Australians to relax in surrounds like these today, Mark Taylor is emphasising to his team there's still a lot of work to be done.
Like Justin Langer's putting, the West Indians are unpredictable. The Aussies still need to take 7 wickets.
We've got to make sure that we don't panic and don't rush it to come tomorrow. We've just got to go out there and play another good solid day of cricket, and if we can do that, I think we'll win a test match.
Back at drenched Sabina Park, where the pitch is under armed guard, some good news. Head groundsman Charlie Joseph forecasts the rain will stop.
This is the thing moving away.
Nick McCallum, National 9 News, Kingston, Jamaica.
On this historic day, no rain, but a pitch ready to swallow the Windies and an Australian team battling the jitters.
He's put it down.
From Mark Waugh's smart footwork to his twins' handiwork, Steve got the Aussies cracking with the only first session wicket.
Gone, brilliantly caught.
4 for 98, night watchman Benjamin dug in for 51. But that's all.
Confident appeal he's given him.
Julian's direct hit removed Hooper 6 for 140.
And hits the stumps.
Arthurton gave the scoreboard a futile nudge. Next ball, Warne's sharp left turn convinced the umpire, but no one else.
And he's given him.
As the next generation warmed up, Ambrose needed every one of them.
Straight or off.
8 for 172, McGrath and Walsh played games, while Warne played hero.
It's in the air. Blewett's under it and he's taken it.
Victory was now just a wicket away.
And he's gone. And that's it, and it's been caught by Taylor. How appropriate is that?
Richie Richardson's claim that this was the weakest Australian team he'd seen didn't appear to ring true with the troops, but really it was a case of who cares. For veterans like David Boone, today was the greatest.
It's taken a long time, mate, but it's great.
Peter Overton, National 9 News.
The Australians had an appointment with history at Sabina Park today. Aussie tourists here expected nothing less.
Exciting day, top day, history being made.
The West Indians clung on desperately for 2 sessions.
He's put it down.
But right on tee, Shane Warne claimed the last wicket.
And he's gone. And that's it, and it's been caught by Taylor. How appropriate is that?
Victory to Australia by an innings and 53 runs. One of our greatest moments in Test cricket. The team embraced on the field, joined by coach Bob Simpson, who admitted he was close to tears.
Yeah, you know, anyone that's not affected emotionally is a very strange human being.
It's 2-1, I think we'll take that.
Inside the rooms, it was pandemonium. The team singing its unofficial victory song, Cole Chisel's K-San.
And each one found me aimless, one more year the worse for wear.
They'd become the first team to beat the West Indies at home since Ian Chappell's side did it 22 years ago. Mark Taylor said he was the proudest man in Test cricket when he collected the Frank Worrell Trophy.
It's been far too long since Australia have had their hands on this trophy. I feel very honoured that I am the captain of a side that has finally won this back after some 20 years.
Then a real display of sour grapes from Richie Richardson.
In my opinion, it's the weakest Australian team that I've played against, and I think that we allowed them to beat us.
After his double century here, Steve Waugh won the Man of the Match and Man of the Series, and as he test drove his prize, was overburdened with hitchhikers.
Is that double ton sunk in you?
Nothing's sinking at the moment, mate. The Southern Comfort's about anything sinking at the moment.
As the frivolities continued, the victory was only just sinking in for the old-timers like David Boone.
I've been waiting 12 years for this, and it's worth every moment of it.
The Aussies in the crowd went wild. They were joined on the famous Sabina Park mound by several of the players.
The Australians will spend the next 2 days joining in celebrations like this one before flying out to Bermuda for 3 one-day games and a well-deserved holiday. Nick McCallum, National 9 News, Kingston, Jamaica.
The enormity of what we've done was only just starting to sink in as we celebrated last night.
Talk to me. Well, I do too.
A very proud tug of war couldn't be separated from his baggy green cap. I was really pleased Alan Border joined the party. We all feel AB was a big part of this victory. But as happy as we all are a bit upset at Richie Richardson's comments yesterday.
In my opinion, it's the weakest Australian team that I've played against.
Quick, Howard, one more.
With a huge backlash in Australia against him, Richie was doing some serious PR work with Aussie tourists today and some serious explaining.
On paper, is the weakest team that I've played against, in my opinion. Honestly speaking, I didn't mean to upset anybody, and if it has upset anybody, I'm very sorry.
As he packed away the Frank Worrell Trophy for the long trip back to Australia, Mark Taylor said Richie's comments will help us in the future.
I think everyone in the Australian team should remember that sort of statement, that, you know, that even with a weak side we can beat them.
Richie insists his comments aren't sour grapes, but amazingly he still says his team remains the world champions.
The fact that we've lost one Test series don't mean that we have lost that title.
Tubby Taylor has been flooded with faxes of congratulations from back home. This one from the Prime Minister.
All Australians are very proud of you today. Yours sincerely, Paul Keating.
Tubby says he's going to frame that. There's talk a welcome home parade is planned, and we're all excited about that. But to be honest, at the moment, we're all a little bit shell-shocked by the celebrations.
Well, it's finally over. We're all off to Bermuda for a well-earned rest. I think we deserve it. In Jamaica, Shane Warne, National 9 News. Well, boys, cheers. Cheers.
While big Carl Rackerman clung to his own memento of the West Indies,
Right, it's a ceremonial staff of the Arawak Indians.
Captain Mark Taylor was clutching the real goods. For the first time in 2 decades, Australia beat the West Indies in a Test series at home to capture the Sir Frank Worrell Trophy, a feat they still can't believe.
I still think we're still getting over it. We're still enjoying it. I certainly still am.
There were numerous heroes on tour: Steve Waugh, the world's premier batsman, and our bowlers, in times of adversity, constantly dug deep.
Even though our batting over the tour was probably a little inconsistent, the bowlers pulled us out all the time, which was a bit of a change.
Costa Zoo has won another fight, this time for his Aussie citizenship. Today it was all made official. The Russian is